Hello and welcome to Commodity Champions. I'm Manisha Gupta. It's not just the elections that is heating up the country. IMD reports anticipates that this year's summer is going to be a long and a much warmer one. The report predicts above normal temperatures in the months of April to June. The year also has seen an early onset of summer with Feb and March hotter than normal in many southern states. There is also a chance of a heat wave in this summer that could last for about 10 to 20 days. To discuss this report further, I am now joined by Mr. KS Hosalikar. He is Deputy Director General of the India Meteorological Department. Mr. Hosalikar, thank you so much for joining us. And not a great news really, because it comes at a time when we are looking at the water reservoirs at much lower capacity as compared to last year and a 10-year average as well. And with the sense that this is going to be a longer, warmer summer doesn't really help. But we would want to understand from you on what is the month of April looking like to begin with.
Yeah, thank you, CNBC, for allowing me to come and share my thoughts on the coming season, especially the weather season that we are talking about. So, yes, IMD gave the outlook for the April, May, June yesterday. What would be the temperature scenario, and also for the April, the rainfall scenario, along with the heat wave scenario for the entire country for next 3 months and for April also. So to put it in one line, I can say that the summer, the updates on the summer that we have on April, May and June, it's going to be warmer, or probably it's going to be hotter than the expected. The countrywide, if you see, the maximum temperature is very likely to remain above normal in almost most of the part of the country, except some part in the east and the northeastern region, some parts of the northeastern region, and the northernmost part of the country like Jammu Kashmir. There could be normal to below normal temperature, maximum temperature daytime, but otherwise entire country is expected to have above normal temperature from April to June. You asked about April. April looks also more or less same trend. Almost entire country is going to witness the above normal temperature during daytime, and the another part to add to that, the minimum temperature, that is the nighttime temperature, is also expected that it is possible that it could be warmer and it could be above normal temperature for night also.
Okay. Mr. Hosalikar, while we are talking about heat wave kind of a situation, what really does define heat wave? Because we've seen almost 42.5 degrees done in the end of March itself in a couple of places in Maharashtra and Rajasthan as well. So what defines heat wave, and how many days of heat wave can we expect between these 3 months?
If you see the definition of heat wave, it is a countrywide, location-wise, countrywide the definitions are there, right? So in IMD, it is whenever the temperature departures are more than 4.5 degrees centigrade from its normal 30 years value for a given day, and if it is persisting for more than 2 days and more than 2 stations are reporting, then we call it, or we will define it, or we will term it as a heat wave, and it will be between 4.5 to 5.9 degrees centigrade. Anything above 6 degrees centigrade departure from the normal, we will call it as severe heat wave. Otherwise, there are criteria that for what is the criteria for coastal station, the 37 degree is the threshold, and for rest of the country, it is 40 degree minimum that the maximum should cross. That is the definition of the heat wave. But I will tell you, that instead of indulging in these numbers, sometimes they get confused to the readers and to the users also.
Sure.
So, summertime, it's a summertime, and probably the window between 11:30 to 2 o'clock, or maybe 12 to 3. You can avoid, I think, instead of meddling into the numbers, probably I think we should be wise enough to understand that between 12 to 3 p.m. during the daytime, if this can be avoided, much better results can be achieved.
All right, we hear those advisories and those precaution statements that are coming in. Also, talk to us about the impact of this, because lower water, higher heat, more evaporation, what all are we looking at getting impacted here?
Yeah, last year monsoon was it had a shadows of El Nino, and this summer is also having the shadows of El Nino. So last year monsoon was near normal, but its distribution was quite challenging. I'm getting the report from many of the social media and other reporters that there is a water scarcity at many places. Our calculations, like the moisture, ground level moisture, etc., is also indicating that it's not very encouraging. So there is a water scarcity in many parts of the region. That is number one. And we have got another 2 to 3 months, rather 2 months plus period till the real onset of the monsoon take place somewhere around June. And then before that, this 2 months plus, we need to have a lot of sensitivity and lot of correct implicated water management strategies in place. Of course, we have plans, but it needs to come on the ground with the same fidelity and with the same correctness. Probably that will make our life a little more better in the coming summertime.
Okay. Mr. Hosalikar, you already have pointed out that the above normal temperatures, whether it's minimum and maximum, could be seen across country. But what are the states and what are the cities that should be more worried or should really take in this advisory that you're putting out with more concern?
Yeah, when we look at the countrywide for the entire summer, the entire countrywide, we see the temperatures could be above normal. So the country everyone needs to look at it very seriously, number one. Number two, this is a seasonal forecast, it is meant for the planners. At the same time, India Meteorological Department issues, the weekly forecast, the monthly forecast, and this forecast, and of course, daily 24 to 48 hours forecast with the heat wave alerts. This also needs to be seen by everyone. You ask what are the states? I will name it, maybe the coastal Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, northern part of the Karnataka, most parts of the Maharashtra, some parts of MP, and some parts of Chhattisgarh, and some parts of Gujarat. There are places which are going to have the above normal heat wave anomaly days are projected in this. So when I say above normal, means the heat wave are likely to remain for a little longer duration in this particular 3 months. This is what I'm expecting.
We hear you, Mr. Hosalikar. Thank you so much for coming by and joining us at CNBC TV18 and reading that in detail and making an analysis as well. And of course, for those precautionary and advisory statements as well. We will now go across to the chairman and managing director of a popular beverage, Rasna. Mr. Piruz Khambatta now joins us with his sense on the kind of weather that we're talking about. And as a company, what are the kind of summer sales that they're anticipating? Mr. Khambatta, hi, thank you so much for joining us. As we were talking to IMD, there is a suggestion of an early onset of monsoon. There also is a heat wave days in this year. It's going to be a longer summer as well. How is Rasna looking at this development?
What we have seen is it becomes too much hot, then it starts raining also. So because for me, what is not important is how much heat. For us, what much important is how long the summer lasts. Because what happens is, unlike, let us say, ice cream or a soft drink, which is basically you put in your mouth and just finish it, a pack of Rasna probably lasts 20-30 serves. So a typical man will probably buy it at the beginning of the season, let us say February, early March, then probably will consume it second round April, third round May, fourth round June. Now, obviously, if this season sort of sets, the winter monsoon season sets in early, my third round or the fourth round go away. So for me, at least in a powder concentrate, not for me, also for all dilutables who are in bottles and me, what is important is how long the summer runs. So we only hope the summer runs longer, more important than the heat, if you ask me. But luckily, as of now, the going has been quite positive. And the fact that the Holi and the Ramadan also have come back to back also has helped in generating a very good primary sales in terms of the loading the market. Now, let us see that the offtake also sort of, keeps the same steady state.
All right. So it sounds good for you right now, the weather that is. But how is the Indian beverage market size looking like to you right now? What kind of growth have you seen? And how would you look at the current industry trends going forward?
When I talk of beverages, I can talk of beverages right from milk drinks to water to aerated drinks to juices. Second, I can talk of the dilutables. Third, I can talk of the powders and concentrates. My belief is that if you ask me, at a very top-note level, beverages in this country is definitely growing. People are going to more towards, what I call packed beverages. And the truth is that even if you see the Niti Aayog release some figures of the consumption in the villages, and the only thing which has grown in double digits, you might have noticed, Manisha, is the beverages, even in rural India, even in the lower middle class. So definitely beverages are growing and will keep on growing. Now, as we evolve, the categories are also evolving. There was a time in which the aerated waters were the ruling the whole sort of game. They were the highest growth. Now people don't trust. They believe there are health issues in them. Then there are issues of sustainability. Bottles require a lot of transportation. There is no fruit in it. There are some negative substances in it. I won't name them. So there are things of controversies going around. So people have shifted more to water. Then energy drink has come up. Energy drink is some category, once again, is now running into controversies. Milk drinks are growing. So this is how the overall beverage is. But if you ask me, my category, luckily, Rasna has been a leader in the powder concentrate category since ages. And I have got competition not from only Indian brands, but even from foreign brands, not once, but 3-4 times major competition, major launches. But still, Rasna has always remained the market leader. And that is because we have been always one above competition. More importantly, we have, before customer change, what we know what the customer wants and we are future ready. I'll give you 3-4 instances of this year. Of course, this has been every year we have been ready. Now give me 3 instances of this year. This year we have launched a product called Rasna Himalayan Sharbat, which is India's first rose syrup with rose water, rose otto, and rose oil made from Uttarakhand. And natural product. Nobody in the world has such product. What is the price? Nothing. 165 rupees, probably 20 rupees off, 145 rupees. We are selling something like 30 glasses. Beautiful product, 3 rupees a glass, but cheaper than any of the colas of the world. And whatever we have made is getting sold off. In Ramadan, we have sold off almost everything. Innovative product, new product, rose. I think India should be known for Indian products. Take Indian, local, global. That's our Prime Minister's sort of message, and that's what Rasna has done. We have taken a product like rose and not only put it in India, but taken into the world platform by taking it global. Number two, after COVID, huge amount of interest is in protein beverages. Every mother has started counting, mere bachche ko protein kitna de rahi. We have launched Rasna Protein Vita, which in the milk category has the highest protein content in a powder. And I think we are not, of course, in medicine. The medicines may have a doctor prescribed protein powder would have more protein, but I'm not on that. As a beverage, we are the highest protein content. And I think a lot of consumers are moving towards it. And that is available protein beta on all our D2C platforms. You can see on the Flipkarts of the world, on Amazons of the world, on my site. It is doing robust business. Number third, we have launched a product which you can see here, the 100 Rasna 100%, which is India's, the world's first product powder without synthetic colors, synthetic flavors, without preservatives, with full day supply of vitamin C, and with 1/3 sugar. So if a regular product is say 100 calories, we are only 66 calories. A lot of interest is in these products. So we are also ensuring that we have innovative factories open and we launch new products for the customer, so that the customer who wants better product shift to it. But that is as regards the urban centers or the educated customers or the people looking for this concern. That doesn't mean that for the masses we don't have product. For the masses, I have got a 2 rupee Aam Panna, 2 rupee Shikanji, 1 rupee Jal Jeera, ek ka do product, 10 rupee 10 glasses. So even our mass product portfolio has been increasing. So at one end we have a mass product portfolio, at one end we have a premium product portfolio. Both are growing is the way I like to put it.
All right, we get that. So you have a huge basket and you're catering to almost everybody in the market there. I also want to understand, as you spoke about as well, that you have way more products than what your competition does. But this is also an age where you have the colas and the canned beverages, the carrying efficiency, the Tetra Paks, etc. How would you say on how are you dealing with this? You mentioned about that there is an urban market and a rural market and a millennial and a younger generation as well. So what really seems to be doing the best within the category?
Of course, I have. See, as regards in-house soft drink is concerned, let me talk out of the house. In-house soft drink is concerned, there is no brand in India which has got a concentrate without sugar, with sweeteners if you don't want sugar, available in flavors like rose, kala katta, kesar elaichi, Indian, available in orange, mangoes, also of the world, available in strawberry, guava, mixed fruit, even passion fruit of the world. We are there in premium powder, we are there in mass powder, and then we have liquid concentrates also like fruit squashes, fruit syrups, and then we have milk-based products like Protein Vita, which is full of protein, honey vita, which is full of honey, once again in powder category. Then we have a powdered soup also for the winter. So if you ask me, one thing is for sure, be it in Bombay or be it in Erode somewhere, be it for the very rich billionaire or for the very small peon or someone working in the farmland, I have got products for everybody. So I am today what I call a beverage for India. And I think I'm very lucky because if you do any survey also, there Rasna is almost 100% recall. And the recall is quite even. Some products are very famous in Western India, some in Southern India. Rasna is a recall right from Kanyakumari to Kashmir and from Kandla to Assam. We have the same recall. Similarly for rich or poor, similarly for age group. So to that extent, we are the beverage of the country and we are very proud about that.
All right. Well, you've already counted on what kind of products you have and what you've added as well, right? From soups and beverages and concentrates and, of course, mixers there. Is there more coming in pipeline that Rasna is looking at in 2024?
Of course, we are working. And I said that we are wanting to take this local, global in a very positive manner. And Rose is one instance. And we are working on more such Indian products also. One product which we are working on, which I talked about in Goa just a month back, was cashew nuts. I think enough has been talked about the almonds from California. I think Indian cashew also needs to be marketed abroad. It's a very, what you call, nutritious nut, especially when you make it into a beverage for children. So we are working on the Indian cashew, how to take it global. I just now said we are working on ampanna, shikanji, which are our decades old or centuries old coolers at home, which we used to drink. So we are trying to propagate more raw mango, ampanna, shikanji, lime with spice also India abroad. So these are the type of ethnic products which I believe we are working on in a very, because I think the Rasna stands for India and India's our strength is these products. So I'm working on these products, if you ask me.
I have one final question for you, Mr. Khambatta, and this one is on the various reports of franchisee agreements that you're doing for manufacturing Rasna abroad. How is that going? What countries have you already done these tie-ups in, and what countries are in pipeline?
See, what is happening is, I just said earlier, there were various phases of India's growth. And Rasna has always taken full advantage of those. There was a pre-liberalization India where it was almost monopoly and Rasna was a monopoly, and of course we took advantage of that. The only product was Rasna for many, many years. Then came the liberalization bit, all the MNCs came in and I was told 100% FDI has come in. If you don't sell off to MNC, you will be dead. And many of my friends who were family owned, they sell off also. I don't know what happened to them, but I'm not dead for sure. And I think we have grown. So I think the MNCs gave us an opportunity to grow actually. So we took full advantage because it made us more competitive. Technologically, we came out with more products. We learned that how to fight MNC. It is part of IMK studies that how we have fought with multinationals with better technology, better distribution, better marketing. Then came the rural increase of India. The rural story of India started when a lot of money went into the villages with all the schemes, Naregas and Maregas of the government, and the rural customer said, I also want a better quality of life. I want a better product. So Rasna was here. We said, okay, here is it, not one, two. Probably I have 10, 15 products for the rural India. We set up distribution hubs and spokes, and we went there. Post-COVID, I think India is now seen very, very positively as far as the global manufacturing base is concerned. And I've been talking about India's Make in India story to, let us say, a global story, food from India, not now, since last 10 years. In the YouTube or anywhere else, there will be hundreds of my own videos where I'm saying real India story is not India. Real story of India is Make in India for the world. Now, when we go there, Rasna has been taken the full benefit of that. We are available in 50, 60 countries. But in some countries, we do see that there are issues to do with high barriers, tariff barriers, transportation costs, logistic costs. Now imagine, Manisha, in one container is 15 lakh rupees. Some countries, the duty on it is 5 lakh rupees, and the cost of reaching the container is 3 lakh rupees. So 5 plus 3, 8, container is 15 lakh. 50% goes in duties or logistic. How to save that? The way to save that is that we ship the concentrate and the local dilution is done there. And that is the type of arrangements we are working on, the franchise arrangements, so that we can ship out more of Indian concentrate. The local company probably dilutes the product with the local bit of what I call sweeteners, local water. packs the product by probably using local packing material. So the core of the product, probably the rose auto, the rose water, the mango fruit will come from India, while our foreign partners, so to speak, would be doing the packaging locally. So these are the type of tie-ups, but with Indian produce. We are not putting up units there for local produce. That's how we are working on this.
All right, Mr. Khambatta, thank you so much for joining us here. So we do understand that the beverage sector is on a surge, and high-protein beverages without synthetic colors and, of course, flavor seems to be doing quite well. And congratulations on you spreading your wings, of course, outside India as well. With that, we are heading into a short break, but when we return, we speak to Baskin Robbins India on what this early onset means for their sales. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Commodity Champions. We continue the conversation on how a hotter summer will be heating up sales for the ice cream industry. Joining me for this discussion is Mohit Khattar. He's CEO at Gravis Food, Baskin Robbins India. Mohit, hi, good to have you. And most of the companies which are doing beverages and ice creams are anticipating good sales this time around. What's your sense? The IMD has predicted a higher than normal temperature this summer. What is the sales estimates that you're looking at?
I think the first good news is that, we are in for a nice, long, hot summer. From various perspectives, works well for us. And we are looking at a very, very robust growth. In the last couple of years, we have grown faster than the industry. And our assumption is that this year too, with the plans that we have, both in terms of new products, new marketing ideas, campaigns, promotions, etc., we should be pretty much growing faster than the market.
All right, that's good to know. And Mohit, how would you look at the overall Indian ice cream market as it stands right now? And as you said, your growth is higher than the overall industry. So what is the industry growth and what is your growth looking like?
The Indian market per se is about 20,000 odd crores, growing at about 15 to 17% annually. And there are various segments of the market. We, of course, operate in the premium end of the market with our Baskin Robbins parlors and presence in retail and food service, etc. Over the last 2 years, we've been averaging a growth of roughly about 30% annually. And we pretty much expect that even this year, with our focus on innovations, with our focus on very, very new differentiated products coming into the market, we should be pretty much able to sustain the growth rates and the pace that we have set for ourselves.
Those are very, very strong numbers, Mohit. Congratulations on that. Also, the Indian ice cream market has seen entry from many new players. There are regional and domestic and international. There are ice cream parlors every nook and corner that you go. How are you looking at the Indian portfolio as it is now?
If I was to look at the Indian portfolio, you are very right that there have been several new entrants, specifically, from within the Indian market. A lot of regional players have come in, a lot of national brands have introduced, maybe second brands, etc. And of course, then there is the good for you, healthy eating space where there are some brands that are coming in. I personally believe that most of the products being offered in the Indian market are Me Too products. Specifically, if you were to look at the regional portfolios, if you were to look at some of what the national brands are trying to do, it's a lot of Me Too flavors that have been seen before. And which the Indian consumer is not necessarily new to. To my mind, if we were to really grow the market, apart from growing availability in the Indian, across cities in India, one has to also introduce a lot more newness in the market. There are several products. I mean, if you were to talk about products like sticks or cones, etc., these are products that the customer has seen, experienced for the last many, many decades. The customer is now ready to try something completely new, experiences that they have not had before, both in terms of the kind of flavors that are on offer, as well as the kind of formats that are on offer. To my mind, the growth is going to come from newness in the market and not necessarily from repeating what is already there. And this is exactly what, as a player, Baskin Robbins has been striving to do, to offer, far richer experiences to the customer and different from what has been there in the market. That's what our focus has been. Of course, towards this end, there are investments which have gone in, not just in terms of marketing or product development, but also, I mean, we've set up a completely new plant over the last 2 years, and which gives us the ability to not just produce more to keep, in line with our growing demand, but also gives us added capability to produce very, very different kinds of products. So that's our take. And even this year, there is a lineup of completely new products that we are bringing into the market. We believe that the customer is changing. The newer consumer is far more aware of what's happening around the world, and therefore needs to be treated with respect. And you need to bring in the kind of flavors and the kind of products that are working elsewhere in the world. Baskin Robbins is, of course, well placed to do that, because as an international brand, we have access to not just what's happening around the world. We have access to technology, we have access to flavors, and so on and so forth. And of course, completely new formats as well. So that's something, what we will be doing, playing to our strengths.
Mohit, you absolutely have me as one of those customers. I definitely am looking for something new in ice creams there. But as you talk about newer trends in market, and are the consumers also opting for healthy options like vegan and sugar-free and dry fruits? I mean, how much do you think is the penetration of these healthy desserts within the market?
My sense here would be that the market is still very, very small in India. It is exceptionally small. Yes, there has been some, buzz around it with several new entrants coming in, and all these brands introducing their products. So there has been some buzz around it. But if you were to ask me what's the size of the segment, I would say that it's not even possibly, between all the brands put together, they would be possibly not even 1% of the market. I mean, very, very small at this point of time.
Okay, so ice creams as it comes is still a very indulgent kind of a business and a category, and we would keep it like that, wouldn't we, Mohit? But thank you so much for joining us on Commodity Champions. With that, it's wrap on this edition. Stay tuned, because news continues on the other side.